now time for a special broadcast of For Real Talk Live. Real situations, real conversations for real people about God, life, love, family, and more with your host, relationship expert, the Seymours.
For real talk. Let's have a conversation. Let's talk about God, life, love, family. For real talk.
And
We are live with the Seymour Monday After Show, and we are ready to talk about relationship today. What do we have to say to the audience, Dr. Seymour?
Wow, first I'd like to get everyone to tune in with us, and let's just make something happen here for the next few minutes. We're trying something this evening just to see how the couples would like it, and we just want to do some talking, real talk for real people with real situations. And tonight we're just encouraged about what is happening here in our community, what is happening even in my ministry, what is happening around here in Atlanta and those that's all around. There are couples that's in trouble. There are relationships that's in trouble. And we just want to come and strengthen your relationship, your marriage, or your situation that you're in. There are two things that's always important, and that is communication in a marriage. And that's what most couples are lacking in their marriages. So we want to talk tonight about intimacy and marriage. What we need to focus on is the strength of our relationship with our husband, women learning how to be more subject to what's happening in their marriage, husbands learning how to be more sensitive to their wives. We have wives, Elvis, that's lonely and really looking for more affectionate, but we have husbands that's less affectionate, and they feel like it's taking something away from them to share the affection with their wife. So I wanted to talk about that tonight, because once we can get the affection out of men, women can begin to be healed. The marriages can begin to be healed once the man sees the affectionate side of the wife. And what's happening with the wife has gotten so common in the marriage that she cannot fulfill his sexual intimacy because of her own mind thinking, because there's so much sexual intimacies that's in men that's really not in us. But women was created with the sexual mechanism. Men was created with a sexual mechanism. So it's all right to be attracted for sex. It's all right to be attracted for love making. It's all right to be attracted for communication. It's all right. And so what has happened is most people don't talk about it at home. Most young people, when I was growing up at home, that was a conversation my mom and dad had never talked in front of us. So with them never speaking that in front of us, it made us bashful to talk about it. So now, people will say, well, the children in here, talk lower, put the children out of the room. And so no one breaks them in to certain conversations. And so now when your wife get grown, they don't know how to talk intimacy, or they don't know how to talk love-making language, because it was never around them. So the freaks that you're looking for in your marriage, it's not in them, because nobody has educated them about the freak that's in them. And so we want to just take a little invitation tonight to just bring everybody in on it. Elvis, what would be one of your comments?
Well, one of the reasons we would like to come to y'all tonight, audience and Facebook audience out there, this relationship is a little bit different. We have Dr. Seymour, who is the pastor, and she is my pastor, and I'm the husband. Now, we all know that the man is the head of the house and the head of the household, right? So a lot of time, people does not understand, or people will take it different because of the strength of a lady being a pastor, the strength of a female being a pastor. And a lot of the times what happened is there is a loneliness that's filling the land. And Dr. Seymour is, I think, one of the most wisest person who's trying to eradicate that loneliness that's in the land. And we have a lot of female pastors that's not married, and a lot of time they see their strength. So that's why we want to kind of break the show down, because we're gonna speak about a lot of different topics in strong female pastor who is a lady. And there's 3 parts to a woman, and she being the pastor, she teaches that. 3 parts to a woman. She was born a child to become a woman. Now to go into ladyhood is a whole next difference, and that is what she brings to the table, being a lady and still being a wife to her husband. So it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be very interesting, I can promise you. Dr.
That's
Seymour.
when we go to the mercy seat.
There you go.
See, and they're not ready for that one tonight. We're going to bring that mercy seat to them on next Monday night. But we want to introduce you to the mercy seat, because you have to understand, once a lady has entered into the mercy seat, she has gone to the Holy of Holies, where anything can happen. So then the marriage becomes complete. And so what makes the marriage complete is when a lady recognizes who she is and her strength and the strength of her marriage. And if she's married, her husband is her strength. And what we take away from them is the intimacy of them. And what men tend to take away from us is the intimacy of us. Intimacy is mean inward, something that's happening on the inside that sometimes you'll say, I don't know why I feel this way, but I just feel this way. You know, a lot of times women will say, I don't know why I'm depressed or why I'm just like this. But it's the intimacy of you. Now, your soulmate has to know how to reach the intimacy of you to bring you into your very purpose. So when they have not reached the intimacy in us, they cannot take us into our purpose, so we cannot fulfill their desires. And what we have to be careful about, when we cannot feel the desire of our spouse or our mate, then the enemy brings a distraction in the mind. Once there's a distraction in the mind, you have to be very careful with men. Whenever there's a distraction in their mind, it causes a breakdown in the marriage. Nobody teaches us this because it's taken for granted. So when everything is being fulfilled and the distraction is removed, the marriage union can go so happy together. That's when I have a book that I'm writing, and I might not be able to put it out there yet, but there are some tips that we need to talk about that's missing. But we want to deal with intimacy, because most of the men that I am around do not know how to take the intimacy that's in them and apply it to the affections of that female that can cause her to become whatever she wants him to become. Just like she can cause him to become, he can take the feminine side of her and cause her to become whatever he wants her to become. That's why you have to learn how to make love long before love making start in the bed. Love making never starts in the bed. Love making starts the moment that you hit the floor. That's correct. Now you're making love to the mind, the body, the soul, and the spirit. And the intimacy now is ready for when you make it to bed at night. That's correct. But if there's no affection and intimacy going on during the day, when you get ready to go to bed at night, nothing happens. Women operates a lot differently. If you are affectionate with us during the early hours of the day, and affectionate without sexual activity, but through the wordings and the touching of the hands, you just about can get anything a little later, 11 or 12 o'clock at night, because of touching of the hand. Do you know most men do not touch, but left-handed men love to touch? That's correct. I tell them all the time, watch a left-handed man. He loves to touch on something. So what's happening is, what we're trying to get now, because we won't be on here much more longer, but we're trying to get the audience to understand. On Monday nights, about 8 o'clock, roughly 7:45, we're going to be coming back with some tips and pointers of what's happening in our relationships, how we can grow our ministries, how we can be more prosperous, how that woman will fulfill the need, the sexual need of her spouse. I tell women, when you get married, your body, the Bible says, your body do not belong to you. And so you've got to understand this. See what happens is, somebody wrote me the other week and asked me about this, just what I'm going to talk on now. What causes adultery? What causes adultery is all of the do's that you don't do. All of the things that you don't believe in, all of the things that you don't do is what causes adultery in the bedroom. So when you become that man's, whatever he wants you to be, when you become that man's pet, when you become his friend, when you become your husband's lover, when you become his girlfriend, the best thing you could ever become for your husband is his girlfriend. You can never make good husband and wife and have a good romance without first being his girlfriend, because the girlfriend seeking to do everything that's going to please her boyfriend.
That's right.
It's really true. That's why they go out and get a side piece. They get a side piece because the side piece becomes the girlfriend, while the wife is still at home.
You are my girlfriend.
Of course.
You are.
Yeah.
That's why you can speak like that.
Yeah.
You are my girlfriend. Keep going.
Because that's the trick of it. Most people don't notice, so we're so busy complaining about what we don't have, the children. Never allow the children to be the focus of your marriage. And so what has happened in the young houses, people are excited about the babies and the children have taken the romance out of the marriage. So what the husband does, he sneaks away from you. He goes to the store, he goes shopping, or he hanging out with the boys, because now he needs that time. And the time is to think and put his mind on something, because the intimacy part of him wants to be loved. It does. It wants to be loved. It wants to be embraced. And she's talking about the babies. She's talking about milk. She's talking about Pampers. She's talking about everything but what this man want to talk about.
And that's love making.
And that's love making. But there's a freak in every man. But can I share something with y'all? Sure. Women are just as freaky as men.
That's right.
What happened though, I tell them, a lot of girls tell me, well, my mama never did teach me. There are a lot of things your mama didn't teach you. But some things come natural. And you've got to learn to break your own will that your marriage can work. If your husband tip out on you, he's going to get the opposite of what you are. He's going to get the opposite body build, the opposite color hair, the opposite of the body. I mean, the mind thinking, the conversation. And you're sitting at home still complaining about the bills, what you don't have, and everything he gone and got is the total opposite of who you are. And it's just real talk.
And I want to say, Dr. Seymour, if you have a question for the love doctor, because that's what she is. Mm-hmm. She's the love doctor. If you have a question for the love doctor, you can just ask it, and I know she'll have a perfect answer for you. One of the next things we like to talk about is the strength. A man dealing with and talking to a strong female, a female in leadership. It don't have to be in church as leadership. It can be a CEO of a Fortune 500 company. It could be a worker at McDonald's. It doesn't matter. Loneliness is in the land, and that is what we are trying to fulfill. I believe I was created to take away the 11. I believe I was created to make sure that the female always have a smile on her face. And one of the tips I want to say tonight is whenever you see a strong female, the strength in the female, you always have to hear her heart through her voice. And one of the things that turn off a lot of men from talking to strong women is that the way that they talk. Even though American ladies, their voice a lot of men is attracted to, but a lot of times it's the same thing that a lot of men just don't know what to deal with. Oh, she cannot speak to me like that. Oh, I know I'm a man. She can't talk to me like that. But if you can hear her heart through her voice, believe me, the strongest female have the biggest heart. And I'm speaking now from experience. The strongest female have the biggest heart. So if you can get past that voice and all of that talking, you are in for a treat. Believe me, I'm going to put you on back with the love doctor.
Now, I like what you were saying, but I feel like some of the females need to hear the heart of their spouse.
That's correct.
Because men, I know that women are lonely, but can I tell you this? Men are lonely too.
That's correct.
And men are lonely for just the opposite of how we react to them. Men are lonely for that voice. They're lonely for that romance. They're lonely for that love making. They're lonely for the attractionness. They're lonely for certain words that need to come from the mouth of their female or their spouse or their wife. And so I say this all the time. We take them for granted. They're working on 9-to-5 jobs, or they're working at whatever they're doing, and we take it for granted because most black women, and I want to say this because it's not a prejudice thing, but we take it for granted that they go to work or that they are helping us around the house or whatever. And so that's the voice of that man that has to be heard. There's a sexual need. This is what makes a man lonely. It's loneliness without a voice. The woman can say, I love you, and we only shift. Let me tell y'all this. We only shift when we think you're about to leave us. We only shift when you act a fool. That's the only time you can get us to shift, because we think now that you're about to go somewhere else or get involved with somebody else. That's why it's called real talk for real people with real situations. That's why it's that, because if you be in reality, when we think, okay, well, you know, he gonna leave me, or I looked on his cell phone and he talking to other women. Yeah, right. So it makes you now begin to wonder, what am I doing wrong? But all the time, you really knew what you was doing wrong, but you wasn't ready to change because you want to put the blame on him or somebody else. So in being in marriage, I said it earlier, you've got to be ready to be committed before you connect. You've got to be ready to commit yourself, your life, and your time before you connect. Because the thing about it, a man go to work. I've been teaching this for 20 years. That's correct. When the man go to work, he get up at 4 or 5 in the morning, he go to work. The last thing he want to see when he go to work is his wife. The first thing he want to see when he come home from work in the evening is his wife. He's not looking for children. He's not looking for his mama. He's not looking for his daddy. When a man come from work, the first thing that man want to see is his wife. He don't want you with a head rag on your head. He don't want pajamas on your body that you had on at 5 in the morning when he went to work. He don't want to see certain clothing on your body when he come home in the evening. See, that's why we talk about it's real talk. Because nobody breaks this stuff down, and we're wondering, my husband said about it being a lonely situation. Right. We are the ones that's going to change the loneliness in our relationships and in our marriages. And don't start something that you cannot finish. Amen. Don't start something that you cannot end. Don't offer that man sex 5 nights a week. After you've been with him 4 or 5 months, now he can't get it 5 times a month. Don't start something that you cannot finish. What we do, we be very, very sexually active in the beginning because we're trying to draw him. We're trying to move him from the other women. The moment that we move him, then now everything has shifted. Women, you all know this is the truth. Let's get ourselves together. Let's get our minds together. Let's concentrate on where we're going next. Let's work out the loneliness and the hypocritical problems that's working in our marriage. Don't let the children be the focus of your relationship. Don't be in a marriage because you got children. If you're in the marriage because there are children, he's going to eventually leave you. Ask me how I know. I had 2 twins. I had a set of twins by my first husband. Married him. He worked night and day. And I thought I really, really had it together because we had children. He loved his children. He surprised me after we got married when he bought me a double-wide trailer. But my focus was the children. And so I had to learn through mistakes, through the tear and the wear and mistakes, other marriages. I had to learn that was never the primary focus. I realized the children need the marriage together. Now I looked up one time, he had left me and moved to Indiana. I still had the children. So let's wake up. They will leave you with the children. You've got to find out how to save and rescue your marriage. Now, I don't know if you can inbox me or whatever, but listen, we going to talk some more next Monday because I want to finish this. There's some things that I want to get to. Tonight was an introduction. That's correct. Of relationship party These young people name this thing. And so what we want to do,
Seymour Monday after party.
after party,
That's
because
right.
I like to talk to grown people. Now, if you're not ready for my language, please don't come on this show, because this is all about relationship for grown people. Grown people with grown problems.
That's right.
I only want to talk to mature people. I can't sit here now and manage my words and make sure that you're all right with what I'm saying. I'm here to save your relationship. I'm here to bring the groove back. I'm here to bring restoration back into your bedroom, into your relationship. I'm here to introduce you to some stuff you have not done. So this is why this is an introduction tonight. I want to shift your bedroom. I want to shift your den. I want to shift your man cave. I want to shift the theater in your house. I came to bring changes. I came to bring restoration. And so, if you're not ready for it, get off the line now. If you're not ready for what I am about to bring you, I'm not bringing you a whole lot of scriptures. I'm coming from the streets.
That's right.
Because that's what God brought me from. I was a Rahab before I was a saint. Now, I might have been a saint in the spirit all the time, but there came a time when I became a Rahab, and I was in the whorehouse. And I know what being a whore is like. And so I've been the prostitute before. So that's how I know the secrets and the challenges that men deal with and women deal with. I just want to come and change your life. Women, you saying, why I can't get no husband? Why?
Well, Dr. Seymour, there is already a percentage. We deal with about 2 or 3 different percentage of men that's away from what's going on. There's a percentage of men that's in prison. There's a percentage of men that are saying, preacher, keep on preaching, because that's not the way that I'm looking right now. Then there's a next percentage of men that's saying, okay, I don't know to approach a strong female. I don't know to talk to a strong female. And so now we want to bring that confidence back to the men to fulfill that loneliness that's in the land that the ladies are missing. That loneliness that the ladies are missing. That's why Dr. Seymour is here to talk to the female and how to make sure that yes, you can still be strong. Yes, you can be a leader. But no, you can still be a lady to know how to deal with your husband or your fiance or your boyfriend.
Elvis, it's all in the voice.
All in the voice.
It's all in the voice. It's all in the tone. It's all in the voice. When a female or when a woman or when a lady knows who she is, knows her rightful place, knows her authority and her power, it's in your voice. You can get many things done through the voice. Now, somebody might challenge that, but what did Eve do? It was in her voice. She told Adam, when Adam said, when Adam spoke to her, she told Adam. She spoke to Adam through the voice.
That's right.
It's all in the voice of the female. When Rahab saved the spies, it was all in the voice. When you learn how to use your voice and the power of the voice, things will happen. I promise you that. I can promise you, your marriage is going to change. I give you 3 weeks sitting under my voice. Things are going to happen. Call your friends. Call your loved ones. Call the husbands and the wives. I'm going to bring some real talk to the table that's going to shift things in your marriage. It's going to shift you single women. It's going to shift you women, pastor women, friends that's out there, that you know that you want a relationship. And I'm not telling you to go out there and be a homosexual with your body. I'm not saying take your body and go and share it up and down the streets. No, that's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying present your body a living sacrifice. Know what to say. Learn how to walk.